So I saw on YouTube today, was it today? Might have been yesterday. Nephew did a perfect parry challenge along with a bunch of Japanese pros. Well, the Japanese pros, like Takedo, Kakaru, I think, they did a video on a perfect parry challenge, and they were challenging each other. And then Nephew saw that video and did the challenge in tandem. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to show you is how I figure out for a new character how to perfect parry fireballs, especially. And we're going to go through that whole process. So I haven't done this with Ryu yet. So let's do this with Ryu. We've been playing Ryu in ranked. We started at Diamond 1. We've kind of been grinding. So let's just go into a replay and I'll show you kind of what my process is. And then we'll go into training mode. We're going to find somewhere in this game where we block a fireball while standing, block a fireball while crouching, and then perfect parry a fireball. And then we'll go into the training and I'll show you how I lab it. So let's just walk. Okay. Okay, so right there we blocked a fireball. So it was OD, but it'll still work. So we're gonna go frame by frame, and we're just gonna look kind of where it touches Ryu, right? Like the frame or two before. This is really close, so this is kind of hard to say. So it looks like it kind of touches his fist, like his tricep when he's crouching. His tricep. So we want to see like the frame before. It's about at his tricep. So we'll maybe not the best, but we'll move forward. Okay, this one's probably better because we get some time to travel. So we're going to frame by frame. We're going to go to where it hits. That's where it hits, right? That's where our block stun starts. And we're going to see kind of right before, okay, it's kind of at his elbow tricep area. Right? Okay. So now let's try to find one where I block it standing. So elbow tricep area. It's pretty deep into his arm. It's almost behind his fist. Okay, good. So we want to see kind of whereabouts, like a frame or two right here. So it's like kind of at his elbow. Yeah, so you see where here, 1, 2, it's like at his forearm almost. Forearm, elbow. Yeah, forearm, elbow. So like forearm, elbow-y. So what I'm looking at is this part of Ryu's character model. I'm looking at where the fireball intersects before it actually makes contact. And it's his forearm / elbow. Okay, so forearm / elbow here, and then tricep when he's crouching. So now we're gonna go into training mode. Now what I can do is I can set my dummy to record. We'll do 1 light, 2 light, and we'll just have him replay that. And now when he throws, what I'm going to be looking for, I'm not going to be watching the fireball. I'm not going to be watching the fireball come across the screen. I'm going to be, as soon as I see that he's throwing a fireball, I'm going to look at my character model at those specific point. If I'm standing, I'm going to be looking at the forearm / elbow. And if I'm crouching, I'm going to be looking here at I can't show my mouse while crouching. But if I'm crouching, I'm going to be looking at his tricep area, right? So I'm not going to look at the fireball. I'm just going to look for that part of the model. And then when I see that the fireball is intersecting with that part, I'm going to press parry. And this is how I train perfect parries. So that was too early. And so I'm just watching that part in my model. And seeing if I can get it. Now it's just a matter of me. There it is. Being patient enough. So with Ryu, it's a little deeper in his model than like Akuma and Ken. There we go. And I'm literally just watching that part of my model. And I'm pressing it. I'm noticing that I'm pressing it a little bit too early because I'm used to it being like Ken and Akuma, who it's their elbow and not quite so deep into their tricep. And so maybe I might look at like the upper part of his cape or the lower part of his cape, and that seems to work a little bit better. Okay, So and that's how I'll train that. And so I'll do these 2 lights. And so I'll do it so 3 times in a row, I parry the first one, and then I OS jump the second one into whatever punish. And I'll see if I can do that 3 times in a row. So that's what I do. And then I do it standing. And usually you're going to be doing it standing if you're trying to walk into it. So when I'm walking, I'm just looking at my forearm. And once I see my forearm get blue, I press. Yeah. So, that's a little bit about how I would think about the perfect parry, especially fireballs. And you should do this with like as many different like types of fireballs, guiles. You should do it with like Ryu's heavy compared to his light, which is gonna feel different. But the reason why this helps is that if you're trying to track it across the screen, it's gonna be more difficult than, especially when the speeds change. It's gonna be more difficult. So that's what I recommend. Go into a game where you block a bunch of fireballs, probably against Ryu, Akuma, or Guile, right? Go into that replay, find where on your character model like the fireball touches, like before it hits. So before it hits, where does like the frame or 2 before it hits? Maybe depending on your reactions, it might be a couple of frames, like 4 frames before. If you know your reactions aren't good, then you know to look for a space on your model that's maybe a bit further out, right? So the biggest takeaway is that you're not tracking the fireball across the screen. You're just focusing on a singular point and then reacting to a change in that singular point from the fireball. And this really helps. I mean, Chun-Li, Aki, Ryu, Akuma, Ken, Guile. Like, these are matchups where, like, if you can consistently, if out the gate, you can perfect parry fireball and jump, like, you're going to get, you know, 3k damage. And Oki, now you have the corner. Like, this is a really, 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 really valuable tool to have in your toolkit. So I hope that helps. Yeah, if I'm putting this on YouTube, like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. So perfect parry, baby. Maybe next time I'll show you what I do with like a Honda headbutt. It's the same kind of thing, actually. It's honestly the same kind of thing. Honda headbutt, Kami dive kick, all those. Kami dive kick's a little bit more tricky because she can start it from different angles and stuff, but Honda headbutt and Honda butt slam for sure. All right, bye.